Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a 40-degree Friday, the 1st of May, the month of May. The old saying is, April showers brings May flowers. A lot of time in the Northwest, the old saying is, April showers just brings more May showers. Hope that's not true. It's supposed to be nice still for, I don't know how many days, but we'll take it. You can be as nice as much as you want. We'll gladly take it. But here in Toledo, I think 74 is our high today. I don't know what don't recall what it was in Vancouver, but it'll be nice. Be another nice, perfect, anything in the 70s spring day. Officially got a shade tree here again. Look at all the shades being cast. Look at the apple tree and all that stuff. Time for the bistro table to be sitting out here. I keep saying that, but I forget to put it out. I think about it and I come out here in the morning. Anyway, just roll to the Southland, get this Friday over with, and start a weekend. Dang. All right. Y'all come on along. 60 degrees with hazy skies. I'm sure that'll all burn off. I think it's supposed to. I don't know. It's supposed to be 71 degrees here. Oddly enough, it says 74 in Toledo. It's weird that when we're hotter than that guy's blowing his lawnmower. That's what I do every time I cut the lawn. Get the old leaf blower out and knock all the grass off of it. Well, Mama, we have made it to Friday. How about that?
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a smoking hot weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
I mean, not that 85's the end of the world, but when it hasn't been nowhere near that in a long time.
Yeah.
That's going to feel hot.
Yeah.
Mama,
Yes,
let's go in there and bust out a day.
All right.
All right.
You have a good day.
You do the same, Mama. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you too. Y'all off.
Yeah. Leave me for a loop. All right.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye.
Sold. Only have one left. And there's a gal looking at it. The main Spyder guy, I couldn't find him at the moment, so another sales guy unfortunately didn't know anything about Spyders, so I was hitting her with the leads on it, and she goes, that's not red. I said, that's what BRP calls red. Like Can-Am red is very orange. All manufacturers do that. You know, Honda calls something red and it's completely black, but if you look really close, you'll see a little red accent in there. So all the manufacturers do that. Doesn't matter if it's cars, motorcycles, whatever. They have their own terminology for their color. But man, that thing does look good. Like I say, that's definitely growing on me. I like the color of the wheels on that too. I like the shape of the wheels. It's kind of 80s looking, sort of. But I don't care. That's really cool. Well, it's been a hopping day today. Not quite a Freaky Friday, but close to it. Everything electrically came out okay. Found out that his tools were, or that his battery door is missing, and water was getting in. Even when you're not going down the road, water can snake its way down there. If that door's open, water's coming in. Gotta have that door on there. So at some point, the door was taken off and must not have put it back on. So I was suspicious of that cord because it was laying down in that trough, you know, like underneath the carpet. The look of that cord, what did I do with it? It's right here. I put a new one on it, but I showed you yesterday, that thing's 7 shades of nasty. And I charged his thing up. And anyway, I pick his tools up because they were laying in the bottom, and I like to put them in that net, especially without the door on there. Water could get in there. I'm not sure how much water got in there, but apparently a lot of water got in there, because you ought to see what they looked like. I picked his tool bag up, which is sitting on that pallet out there. I'm trying to dry that out in that little kind of cloth thing that PRP throws in there. So I use some PB blaster and kind of cleaned everything off, and it's soaking in fogging oil now. When the bag gets dried out and everything's cooler, I'll put the bag back together and stick it in the front. Maybe I'll just throw it in the rear. So his brake fluid is critically bad, but not in the way you're thinking in an RT. It's dark, but that's not black. That's just old brake fluid. And this lowness in this one is his pads are probably 70% up front. They're in a safe place, but that's just why the fluid's low in there. The rear's pretty good. Yeah, the bike was manufactured March of 23, so it's just over 3 years old. And seeing this thing, it looks like it was sitting in a barn, like I was telling you yesterday. That looks like a leaky roof. If you've ever stored something in a barn and it leaked on top of you, what is it about stuff sifting through shingles or, regular tar? I don't know. It's something about going through a roof if it leaks. The spots that puts on stuff is like nothing you've ever seen. It's like unique. It's funny. I used to laugh because Barney Miller, I don't think the channels I watch, I don't think it's running right now, but they play it to death. I always think of that one where they're what's his face, I can't think of his name, that makes the coffee, was taking the water that was dripping out of the roof and making the coffee out of it, and everybody thought it was good this time. Barney's going, you can't do that. He goes, well, it sifts it. It's filtering it as it's coming through. It's nasty. But anyway, so obviously it wasn't in a dry environment, so that's not bad. Not to be, super, super bad or black or something like that. But, if they're in a moist environment, it's like I'm way over still on some of my bikes, but they're like testing at 2%. I think was it the Himalayan? I forget. One of them was 3%, and at 3%, they say it's recommended to flush. But anyway, just waiting for an okay on that. I'm getting ready for my oil fill here, and fire up the only coat. I mean, there was a lot of them. So I think it's an effort between the battery being dead and trying to jump it. I think every low voltage or something that could be triggered by low voltage kicked off. And I was questioning his cord because he said his phone wasn't charging. So I threw one of my little 6-inchers on there, and boom, it immediately, my phone goes to charging. I said, well, that's the customer's cord, and plugged in. That's working as well. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe he's got a dirty port on his phone. I unplugged it and replugged it, and it just starts charging my phone immediately. So I don't know. Get the oil in it, and I need to clean that lid off and put that rack on and go from there. I need to pull the instructions up on that again, because I need to know the pilot hole size and stuff like that goes up there. That thing needs to be clean. Don't be messing around with dirty plastic. If you're doing something where you're gonna be rubbing against it, you need to clean it or cover it in some way. Be careful what you cover it with. Don't ever put anything plastic or anything on your bike. I remember, and still you get people every once in a while that does it. They put one of the tarps, those old plastic tarps, they put it over the bike. Oh man, never put one of those things on. One, it captures moisture underneath it. And if there's any air movement and that plastic tarp moves in the wind, it'll literally take the paint right off your bike. All the like corners and stuff like that and edges, just takes the paint. Looks like somebody had a sander just. It is brutal. Yeah, you need to, if you're gonna cover it and it's gonna be outside, make sure it's a motorcycle or a Spyder specific cover and that it vents. They got them little overhangs that vent, and they need to be, a smooth or have some kind of a smooth interior on them. A lot of them, like the ones for the Harleys, where it goes over the windshield and stuff like that, it's got cloth stuff in there. But they need the vent, or they're super high end, that's got a, what's that, Gore-Tex or whatever, that stuff, crazy waterproof, but when the water goes away, it breathes really, really well. The only problem is it doesn't, if you like Gore-Tex gloves, if it's hot and it's raining, when it gets wet, it stops breathing at that point. But it, dissipates and dries really quick because it's crazy thin. It's amazing how thin Gore-Tex is. And, but as soon as it starts to dry, it starts to breathe. So, yeah, fantastic stuff. But could you imagine? I've seen some of them covers. Wow. Anyway, let me keep going with what I'm doing here, and I'll wait to hear from them upstairs. I don't know what happened to the gal with the. She was looking at she just kept saying that's not red. And, I was as nice as I could. I go, well, manufacturers do that, Honda, everybody else, they call it what they want to call it, and like, Can-Am red. Can-Am red is that orange, like the seat and the bodywork on those Sea-Doos out there. But you've seen it. I was showing you that XT with the red swing arm and the red front bumpers. It's a bright orange. They come up with their own colors. Whether you agree with that, I'm just telling you that's what they call it. But she just kept saying that's not red. One thing's for sure, to get to that tone, red was in there, or some version of it. So I don't know, but anyway, we have one left, and I don't know if we're getting any more Mars Red. That one sitting right there is she's the one and only for now. I don't know if we're getting any more or not. I have no idea. I didn't get any. I used to get the order list, but I don't get that anymore. I think for a long time I used to get all the part stuff. It was brutal. My emails, thousands of emails a day. It was absolutely, and I joke you not, there was times there was over 3,000 emails a day between parts, sales, service, because I dealt with all the manufacturers, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki. They're emailing back and forth and stuff from the videos. People love to mail you. And then parts and sales emails. It was just absolutely nuts. Surprised I didn't get charged extra for all the email traffic or something. But it's toned way down. I would say probably several hundred a day now. And I forget to mute my phone, and you guys go crazy. I keep looking at my phone thinking it's mine. That's just stuff coming through my phone. It just never stops. And if it's quiet enough, you'll hear the because the haptic thing still runs, but I don't have it in, what do you call it, prominent. I have just a normal haptic. If I'm like traveling or something like that, I'll put it on prominent so I can actually feel it in my pocket buzzing. The reason I keep it down is you can hear it through the phone. You hear it buzz. The speakers are all around the phone, and when it buzzes like that, you're going to hear it. All right, let's get back at her. So he okayed the brake fluid. Boy, that stuff gets old. It sure does stink. Wow. And then that vacuum thing, it aerates. It's air's got to go out if it's pulling it in, and it's got a filter and stuff on there, but it doesn't filter the smell out. But yeah, it's nice to get that out of there. Yeah, it was just aged, and I would imagine it probably wherever it was stored. Like I said, it has that look like a leaky roof was leaking on top of it or something. But I'm out of time to do the rear tire in my back. I just couldn't do it today, even if I had the time. But anyway, that's very nice. Runs absolutely flawless. Doesn't miss a beat. It had a bunch of voltage codes I told you earlier. Cleared all that out, and no codes. It's charging. It's doing everything it's supposed to do. Like a good little Spyder. Boy, I put that luggage track on that thing. You get a clean spot. I wanted to clean it before. I didn't want to scratch it while I was putting it on there. Like, dang, I do like that color. That's pretty. These BRP racks, it's just a chunk of aluminum. I see people, you can tell they've been carrying all kinds of stuff on these things, and the anodizing, making it whatever color it is, seems to hold up very, very well. And boy, this thing's gonna take I would dread having to wash this thing. That would take quite a while, I would imagine. Or for me it would, because I would nitpick over everything. Or you can find the gentleman that did that 24 Cetus guy. That was amazing. It was a very nice job. Lovely vehicles, these Cetus guys. I haven't heard anything. That gal that's down here looking at the one kept saying, it's not red. I don't know if she was serious or whatever, but I told her all about it. She seemed to know most of it, so she's probably been doing her studying as well. But she was looking for 25s. I said, yeah, I'm going to find a 25 Cetus guy anywhere but in the used market. Because Cetus guys are gone. Man, by the time, easily by June, there won't be a Cetus guy to be had. Probably find some remote dealer somewhere that might have one. These things, especially if you've ridden one, you ride a regular one and you come ride to Cetus guy and you're just like, wow. That makes a difference. Like I said, I already went through that 2026 three-wheeled vehicle update. And just like every year, they don't mention anything about the ride quality. And anyone, and several of you guys have, commented saying that, I had an RT Limited before. I got to see this guy. You're right. They handle completely different. It's just a different ride. And I would, like I said, and I can't. I guess I could search and try to find it, or maybe as I'm classified, maybe I can't do sales stuff. I know I could before. I just need to know what the module number is. But maybe they say it in the sales training, because that doesn't really mean anything to the technicians. If it's technical stuff we're learning, if the shocks perform different on one than the other, that doesn't mean anything to us. That's a sales thing. So I should do some searching and try to figure that out, or just get a hold of GM and say, would you send me the sales training for the three-wheelers? I'm sure they have it. It's funny that, I've known this guy, since I was crazy young. And I come riding up on a Mars Red Cetus guy, and he's, Smoak, what the heck are you doing on that goofy thing? Like, what are you talking about, goofy? He goes, I wouldn't be called dead on one of those things. I said, you don't even know. If anybody needs to, life hasn't been cruel to him, but in some ways unkind. And, he doesn't walk normal, needs some assistance and stuff like that. Dude, you'd be all about this thing. No way, I'd never. I'll stop riding. You hear that classic thing. And I said, you know how often I hear that? I said, he was in motorcycle business for a long time. He's long since retired. And so, we used to sit down on our union breaks at the old store and talk about, how you try to tell people something and they just hardline, they're just not going to listen. I said, that's you right now. Well, I rode one before and I didn't like it. I said, how long was that? I go, that was when they first came out. I said, do you have any idea how drastically, like reinvented the wheel drastically different they are nowadays? So I guarantee you, if I had a demo and I could take you for a ride, you own a Spyder, me on a Spyder, I'll take you down some roads, and you will literally come back just going, I can't believe it. I actually like it. That's really cool. You have no idea. He's got a big touring thing that he recently purchased, and he's all about that thing. And like, dude, that big heavy thing, that's just the very thing. I don't know how you're dealing with that. I said, that's the very thing that people end up on these Spyders for. And they all have the same story. If I got to go to three-wheelers, I'm going to quit. Never say never. Oh, I'm supposed to bring that seat up. BRP wants that thing back. But I'm not packing it up tonight. I don't know what I did. I tweaked or torqued or something. Got my back all out of whack. It's just what I need as the weekend starting. Jeez, Mother's Day is this... Yeah, Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. It's funny. I just go and tell tales forever of all the stuff I hear from people that finally took a Spyder for a ride. There's a lot of things where it's couples. It'd be like Kelly and I. If we rode two up all the time, she didn't ride her own vehicle, and I started scaring her. Maybe I dropped the bike a couple times at traffic lights, or backing it out of the drive, whatever. They get to a point they're scared and they don't feel safe. And this is a very common thing too. The wife just quit riding, just decided she's not going anymore. You're scaring me, I'm not going anymore. And then they get a Spyder, and next thing you know, they're traveling around the country. And you get that same story. This thing changed my life. I thought I was going to have to give up riding bikes forever. And he goes, you told me. He goes, you forget that thing's on three wheels in no time. Absolutely no time. In my head, when I jump from two wheels to a Spyder, I don't think. The one thing that hits you is just the extreme comfort, but I don't think about the different handling. It's like riding different style bikes. Different style bikes do different things. Well, this is just another style. It just happens to be on three wheels. Why is that something? And just guys, and the older they are, the worse they are. Man, I gotta be tough, be a man. So you're gonna be tough and be a man by giving up? If I have to ride three wheels, I'll quit. There's nothing on here. You don't see, any, what do you call the things, the assist you walk and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing on here saying this is a person that can't walk anymore vehicle. It's not like it's a wheelchair or something like that. They're just as fun. I don't know. You just can't get it through their heads. But when they ride one, boy, the light bulb goes off, and next thing you know, I'm down here doing services on them, or getting their CarPlay all hooked up or something. I just love this thing. I should have listened a long time ago. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up and head to the homestead. because I'm not gonna ride. It's got a bald rear tire, new tire sitting over there. I'm not interested in riding that thing like that. So I didn't ride anything yesterday. I was so busy I didn't ride nothing. Or did I? Did I ride something yesterday? I don't think I did. That's all right. You get days like that. You're just busy and doesn't, involve a test ride. All right. Well, hello there, YouTube. Getting home late night, 7:41.
Yeah.
I stopped at Walmart, getting some supplies, stuff for Ireland trip, and just crinkly little things. We're thinking, well, don't have to get gas tonight, so we got a little bit of free time. It's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go hit old Wally World.
I don't know how we spend so much time there.
I know. That's the craziest thing. We were there forever, it seemed like.
Yeah.
There's Christy coming home. Anyway, that's a fun day. Sorry there's no rides. I'm not going to ride that thing with that bald tire on here. I'd be the one that gets the flat. And as you've seen, he's okay in the tire. Man, I don't know what I did today. I got out of this car and I could barely move at Walmart.
Yeah.
And tweak something. Glad I didn't try doing it. Well, I wouldn't have enough time to do the tire today, but glad I did try if I did have the time.
Yeah.
Who knows what you do. It's not like I lift anything weird or very careful. But anyway, we're going to start our weekend and roll out on you.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same Smoak time, same Smoak channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. You guys have a wonderful Saturday or Sunday.
Heck yeah. Alrighty. Get ready for a hot Sunday.
Yeah, she's going to be a warm one.
Yeah, buddy. Alright. See you guys tomorrow.
We see you then.
Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.